Hi, Jaguars. Today we're going to be discussing area, perimeter, and volume. And then we will get into doing area and volume of irregular shapes. We're going to start off with perimeter. As you can see here, I have a rectangle and I have both formulas for perimeter. To figure out the perimeter of a shape, you can either do length plus width plus length plus width, or 2 times length plus 2 times width. We're going to take this rectangle and we're going to do both formulas. So let's start off on the first formula. The first formula is P equals 5 plus 11 plus 5 plus 11. 5 plus 11 is 16, plus 5 plus 11 is 16. That means that my perimeter is 32. Now let's do the second formula. P equals 2 times 5 plus 2 times 11. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 times 11 is 22. 10 plus 22 is 32. So therefore, the perimeter of this shape is 32. As your formulas work exactly the same, and you will get the exact same answer. Which formula you choose to use is up to you. At area, we're going to do the area of the gray box. Area is length times width. So therefore, area would be 15 times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 90. So the area is 90 squared meters. When you're doing area, you are going to have this as an answer. 90 squared. It's squared because you're taking the two sides and figuring out how to fill up the entire shape. So where perimeter, it would just be meters. Area is square meters. Volume would be cubic meters. Let's take a look how to get the volume. Just like perimeter, volume has two separate formulas: length times width times height, or base times height. The base is the area, so the base is length times width. Let's do both formulas and figure out how to get the volume. Let's use the first formula to figure out volume. The first formula for volume is 4 times 11 times 6. 4 times 11 is 44. 44 times 6 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 2 is 26. If we use the second formula, volume equals base times height. I'm going to find the base by multiplying the length times the width. 11 times 6 is 66. So I would have 66 times 4. 66 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry my 2. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 2 is 26. So my volume is 264 cubic millimeters. Now, let's take a look at some special kind of vocabulary that you're going to run into when you're doing area, perimeter, and volume. What we have here is we have a cube and a square. Cubes and squares are unique because all sides of a cube and a square are congruent. That means they only have to give me the measurement of one side, and I can figure out the perimeter, the volume, and the area. So let's take a look at our square. Perimeter would be 2 times 3 plus 2 times 3. That would be 6 plus 6, which would be 12. Area would be length times width, which would be 3 times 3, which means the area would be 9 squared units. Let's get the volume of our cube. Now remember that we said a cube, all sides are congruent, which means all sides are the same. So I see I have 4. So my volume will be 4 times 4 times 4. Length times width times height. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry the 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So my volume would be 64 cubic units. Now let's take a look on what it will look like if we have an irregular shape. Let's start off with the area of an irregular shape. So I already know that my formula for area is length times width. But I have a little bit of an issue. I have to label these 2 missing sides. Turn this irregular shape into 2 regular shapes. And I'm going to start right here at this 90 degree. Now I've turned it into 2 regular shapes. And because I've turned it into 2 regular shapes, now I need to label my sides. This is 7, so this side is 7 as well. Now I need to get the measurement of these 2 sides. I already see from this line right here that this space right here is 8 centimeters. So 8 minus 12, or 12 minus 8, is 4. Now I can do the area of shape A. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 square units for shape A. Now for shape B, I don't need to label anything because I've already have it labeled here and here. So then I will do 8 times 9 and get 72. Now I'll take 72 plus 28 That's 10, 9, 10, 100. My area for this irregular shape is 100 squared centimeters. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do the volume of an irregular shape just like we did the area of an irregular shape. First, I'm going to label the sides I don't have. I see that I have my length is 14, and I got that from right here, so I carry it up to there. I have a width of 5, and I have a height of 2. What I'm doing is I'm separating, just like I did with area, I'm separating these two rectangular prisms. I'm separating these rectangular prisms into two separate rectangular prisms. So then I will have 5 times 14 times 2. Fourteen times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. 70 times 2 is 140 cubic units. So shape A is 140 cubic units. Now, shape 2, or shape B, I have a length of 14, a width of 10, and a height of 4. Remember, this 6, we don't need that anymore because 4 plus 2 is 6. So then I will do 14 times 10 times 4. This is 140 times 4 is 560. So then I have 560 cubic units and 140 cubic units. I add those units together, and I have a volume for this staircase of 700 cubic units. If you have any questions or concerns throughout this week's lessons, please join the Google Meets, and I will help you work out the problems the best I can. Good luck and have a great week. Jaguar Strong.